I'm just having a hard time picturing how I'm going to get through this weekend. Like, group has really helped this week, but I don't know what's going to happen the 2 days that I'm not going to be here.
Do you have anything planned for this weekend?
I don't know. I could go spend some time with my family, but lately I just feel like if I'm with my family, they're just judging me and upset with me, and so I don't know if that's really a good idea or not. Also, like, my dad usually drinks like on the weekends, and I don't know if I'm ready to be around that, because I just feel like my cravings are still really strong right now. I think that's why I'm like so scared about what the weekend's gonna be like.
So definitely, I think if you feel like your dad's going to be drinking, I think it's smart. Like, you're recognizing this is my limit. I can't be around someone drinking. I totally support you.
I don't want him to feel like I'm judging him either, but I don't know. I just don't know how that would make me feel if I was around him when he was doing that.
Well, and you don't have any obligation to talk to him about that right now, right? Like, maybe in the future as you keep going, if what you want to do is talk to him and set some boundaries, or ask him not to drink when you're around, or whatever that looks like, that's not a thing you have to decide right now. But I do think it's really, really smart for you to be considering what you want to do this weekend and how you're going to get through it. Like, have you thought about going to any meetings?
I know we keep talking about that, and like, I'm nervous. I haven't been to one before. And I don't know what to expect from that. Like, I guess I'm a little uncomfortable with, I don't know. I don't know which one to go to, and I don't know what it's going to be like there, and I'm worried it's just going to make me want to drink like more by going there.
Okay, all right. So let's take a step back and let's look at that, okay? What is the worst possible scenario? You go to a meeting, like, let's say, okay, you're driving your car.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you pull up outside this church. It's in the basement. Mm-hmm. You park. What's the worst possible thing that happens?
I don't know. I'm not able to go inside because I'm like too socially anxious about the whole idea. I guess that would be the worst case.
Okay. I mean, yeah. I get it. It can be really scary walking into an unfamiliar setting. Mm-hmm. You don't know what to expect. You don't know who's going to be down there. I get that. What's the best possible outcome?
I guess that the meeting is really helpful. And it helps me get through the weekend.
Okay, so like, probably you would agree maybe that probably it's going to be something in the middle.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So my suggestion would be, like, try to go to the meeting. If you sit outside in the car and you leave, you've eaten up at least whatever time it took you to get there.
Yeah.
Whatever time you sit there and whatever time takes you to get home, right? And theoretically you haven't drank during any of that.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And do you have a phone list of other women in the group?
I do have it. I haven't used it yet, but I do have one.
Is there anyone in the group that you think, I mean, it seems to me like you talk to some of the other women during lunch.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I really like everybody in the group. I wouldn't want to feel like, I wouldn't want to like bother them, you know, over the weekend. Like, we've already spent all week together.
You do realize that the same way that you are required to go to 3 meetings a week, they're also required to go to 3 meetings a week. So there's a good chance one of them is already going to go to a meeting.
I just hate calling people. Like, I hate picking up the phone. But I know, like, we literally talked about that in group, and that I just need to do it.
What about texting?
That would probably be a little easier.
We're young people. We text.
Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. So, why don't we think of 3 things that we can do this weekend to help us get through, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, you almost just have 2 already. Like, if you text someone from the phone list, and you go to a meeting, what would be thing 3? What's the greatest thing you can think of to do this weekend to stay clean?
I liked the art therapy that
Okay.
we did yesterday, and it kind of made me think about how I used to do art. Like I took some art classes in college. I haven't done that in a really long time, but I kind of thought maybe like trying to get like into like a positive hobby would be helpful.
I actually think that's a great idea,
Yeah.
because one of the reasons that we do art therapy up here is just the mindfulness component of it, right? Like I'm sure you noticed yesterday that like some people are really into it and then some people are really, really not into it.
Yeah.
Some people just don't want to follow whatever instruction, and that's kind of why we do kind of a free form time in the therapy room, the art therapy room. Even just the process of like a pencil moving across paper, or painting, or stringing beads on a string,
Yeah.
those things can be so almost hypnotic, that kind of slowing of the brain,
And I got some art stuff that I just put away like ages ago, but I have some stuff I could get back out.
Well, and if there's anything specific, I would be happy to take you down to the art therapy room and we can harvest a little bit,
Yeah,
I mean,
that would be great.
it's all about whatever it takes for you. I mean, picking up is always a choice, right? Drinking is a choice that you could make this weekend. And if you decide to drink this weekend and you come back on Monday and you say, hey, I drank, we're still going to welcome you, and it doesn't mean that you're a failure.
Yeah.
But if you want to stay sober, it's possible. We just have to make some decisions to do things that honor ourselves. And it sounds to me like the art would be a really good one. Definitely reaching out. I mean, that's one of those things that gives us good practice. And then going to a meeting is never a bad idea.
Yeah.
Because we've talked about this before, right? The opposite of addiction is connection.
Yeah.
And like, the story that you tell yourself is that you're too anxious to go. The first time that you get there and you're able to walk in the door, you've rewritten that story a little bit.
Yeah, and I don't want to drink this weekend. Like, I want to be able to come back here on Monday and say that I got through it. I really want that.
I believe that you will, and you have the tools, right? Like, I think if you want to go see your family, you want to call your family, that's a good thing. If you want to set boundaries with dad, that's something we can talk about in the future. It's not something you have to do today, but those are all good things. They're good, healthy things, spending time with family. These are the things that we get to do in recovery, but it's one small step at a time. So this weekend, what are you going to do?
I am going to text someone from the phone list and go to a meeting and try and make some art.
I love it. Sounds good.